Hi, I'm Pearl with Equus Television, and we're here at the Horse Farms Forever event, and I'm here with Kristen with AMT. How are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you. My name is Kristen Barron. I represent Advanced Myographic Technologies, and we are here presenting an all-new technology that's never been seen before. It is called the Curo.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, historically speaking, the original device was called the Curo Mach 1 that a adjunct professor in Denmark had discovered or created and discovered the technology by studying shellfish originally. And he decided to hone in the technology in order to be able to test humans, dogs, and horses, and now we're working on other modalities as well. So what this does is it actually reads into the muscles, the ligaments, the tendons, and neurological pathways to be able to see where there might be development issues or injuries, inflammation, etc. So far, they've already used this device to start looking at things like Parkinson's, type 2 diabetes, MS, and that's just on the human side. We're also looking at a bunch of things going on with horses and dogs, and in the future, we're looking at cattle as well now.
Very well. When did this start? When did this company get started?
So AMT is new, but Curo Diagnostics began about 13 years ago, I believe.
Okay.
That's what we're looking at now. And the original Curo Mach 1 was designed as a small tethered computer with wired sensors, and that was kind of hard to work with, especially when you're looking at a horse that's jumping up and down over jumps or moving through dressage movements or running. You know, that box can kind of fall off and get damaged. So this amazing professor, Dr. Adrian Harrison in Denmark, created a new way to look at these same things using the same technology, but much smaller.
Was it specifically designed for horses in the beginning?
Yes.
It was. Okay. Oh.
This is now the device.
Okay.
So we went from the Curo Mach 1 to this. It is 100% wireless, non-invasive, no chemicals, and no radiation whatsoever, and all the results are seen in live time.
So is that something that, how does that use on the horse?
So essentially, you can use one of two different size sensors.
Okay.
You have two sizes here. One is for looking at a larger muscle group, so let's say around the longissimus dorsi, which is the muscle that connects from the withers to the SI. Or you can look at smaller areas, so let's say we wanted to look at the deep digital flexor tendon, we can use something like this. So it's absolutely no hindrance whatsoever to the horse barely notices it's even there. You would simply connect one of these sensors to the Curo, just like this. The Curo will light up, and you would hook it up to your tablet, iPhone, even a watch, all right, and allow the horse to go and perform whatever it is that you are asking him to perform in, so you can test those muscles in the moment. So let's say I wanted to put this on a horse on a 1 mile track and be able to see what's happening with his tendons and ligaments, because historically maybe this horse starts to tire a little bit too much, more than what would be considered normal towards the end of the last furlong. Maybe it's because that tendon is having some issues. We would be able to track what's happening, figure out what's happening through the entire course of that track, completely wirelessly, without ever damaging that tendon in any way, and we would be able to prevent any further injury from happening and give him the proper physical therapy that he needs.
So is that something that you'd use to diagnose and create a therapy for?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Is that something that you guys do, or is that something like the average horse owner does themselves?
So typically you would want your vet involved. However, there are plenty of trainers and barn managers out there who are...
We all are doctors in our own right.
Of course, yes. But there's a lot of physical therapists, acupuncturists, chiropractors, movement specialists, etc., that would be able to help diagnose and create a therapy that would work best to hone in on that issue with the horse.
Okay.
So we'd be able to help fix him before the problem even really happens.
Right. So is there a difference between what is used is various animals versus humans, or is this something that humans can use?
Yes, it is open to human modalities. We will be using this for humans to be able to see injuries, to track physical therapy, progress and development, etc., balances and imbalances within the system. So I could put this, say, on my bicep and be able to see where in a bicep my injury would be, should I have had one. And it definitely has shown a lot of things. I've been proven that this has worked many times over because of, say, hey, Bill, let me put this on you and see how it works.
Right.
And sure enough, I'll say, hey, did you injure your shoulder?
Oh,
at
you
some
can tell that.
point. Yes, absolutely. And he looked at me and said, "Yeah, how did you know?"
So it does a lot.
It
so
does.
What is the technology behind that?
It's highly developed sensors
Okay.
that they use to track what's happening within the muscle. Truthfully, by using different decibels, so you can go from 0 to 32, you'd be able to determine the depth of how deep you want to read into the muscle. So I could literally put this on my thigh, and at the highest decibel reading, I could tap on the backside of my thigh and be able to read that sound wave.
Wow.
Now, obviously, we don't want to do that. We
Right.
don't want to read all the way through. We want to read to a certain depth. So if I wanted to get down into the deep muscles, I can go about halfway down or 3/4 of the way down with those decibel readings and be able to see what's happening in those movements. So,
Okay. Is there any contradictions like with anything that a horse is currently on?
Currently, no. There's no contradictions. At this point, it is looking at the muscles as they are. There's nothing that really affects them.
Okay.
Again, what it's reading is the actual pressure waves within the system.
Very good. Very good. Where do you see the company using this or utilizing this in like the next 3 years?
Well, honestly, where don't I see it going?
It's true. Very true.
It's being used in so many modalities already, and now we're starting to talk to some of the hospitals about this device being used for physical therapy and development. So that's kind of what we're looking at the moment, but we've already started looking at new modalities that we haven't launched yet.
Very good.
We'll be hosting 4 conferences throughout next year, one each quarter, focusing on the different modalities. The first one will cover all 3, and after that, they will each be focused on each modality so that we can go into in-depth proper training and utilization of this device and where they can be used best to suit what we're doing.
Yeah, I imagine the training is pretty in-depth on how to use it and how to read it.
Yes,
and...
but it is very easy to use.
Oh, it is?
Oh, absolutely. So,
do you want to show us?
Yes, absolutely. I don't know how well you'll be able to see this on the screen, but let's say for the purpose of a demonstration, I'm going to hit one-time measurement in a demo. Show me where it hurts.
Really?
Really.
Oh, do
So
I
it
dare
just-
show you? So I have issues right there.
Right there? Okay.
Okay.
So it actually already names
Okay.
where it is. Now on an iPad you have this whole big screen. Obviously on a phone it'd be a little smaller.
Right.
But either way, if you didn't know where to place that sensor because you don't know where to put it, right?
Right.
You could hit this little information button and it
Oh.
shows you where to place it with and without the skin. Hopefully you have your skin on, you know.
Yeah.
But it shows you where to place it with and without the skin.
Okay.
And it gives you an anatomical map as well. So I could hit start one-time measurement, Mach 2, Bluetooth technology, because it does function on Bluetooth and Wi-Fi.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you to hold that
Sure.
for 1 second. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hook up the other Curo here. Very simple. So it's showing that I'm connected to both. Hit proceed. Showing me again I'm connected to both. And I could add more Curos to this if I wanted to.
Okay.
Alright, this is where you would select your gain. So 0 would be just at the surface, where 6 you might be looking into the fascia lines, and so on and so forth. You kind of just go layer by layer. So let's say we're going into 12D. Alright, and then let's select a random option here. Let's do an arm extension. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these on you. Alright, I won't stick them to you, so
That's fine.
So it should go about right there.
I'm interested in knowing all the damage.
Alright, I'm gonna do one on each side. Does that feel like it's about even?
Yep.
Alright. And then I'm gonna go ahead and hit start on here. And you're just gonna start kind of lifting your arms like this. Alright, there you go. So now, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but as she lifts her arms, you'll start to see different readings. So right now you're not showing too much, so I can change the decibel reading, go down to 18. And then all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of set these here. There we go. So now we can kind of see where the readings are. And now where you are seeing the spikes is where there might be injuries throughout that certain movement. Because what happens is as the spikes get bigger, what you're looking at is where the muscle is having to recruit more cells in order to do the simple function of lifting your arms.
Is that bottom one my right arm?
Yes.
Yeah. My right muscle. That's incredible.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it's so zeroed in. I mean, it's very dialed
Yes.
in.
Absolutely. And now if I wanted to record this, I could record it and send the results up to our cloud and have it come back and then be able to evaluate it with your doctor, your physical therapist, whatever it is. And then we'd be able to create a special program specifically to help those muscles. So
Very good. That's impressive. That's very impressive. Are you guys based out of Ocala?
Yes, we are. We are here in Ocala, and we do schedule demonstrations, at your convenience. So I just kind of show up to your farm, probably not dressed like this.
I'm sure you're in cowboy boots.
Oh yes, absolutely. I would show up
boots.
to your farm, and I would put this device on your horse and kind of see what's going on. And it's always nice to have the vet there because they can look at the results right there next to me. So again, I kind of help to train people how to use the device, and I set it up, and that's where the vet would be the one to give you the diagnosis.
So, has this been medically tested and any type of certification?
Yes, absolutely. We actually have 23 peer-reviewed papers circulating internationally. We're currently waiting on 24, and we're starting number 25.
Very good.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
Of course.
Appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing this being used on more than just horses.
Oh, absolutely. You'll see a lot of it in the next year.
Thank you. This is Pearl with Equus Television. Thank you for joining us.